Welcome once again, people of the internet, to a bad idea.
I mean,
Man, why are we doing this? Welcome. We don't have a title still.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe there'll be a title by the time it's uploaded, but like we don't know what it. Current us don't know, but future us will be pointing and laughing at past us, being like, "Ha, you stupid idiots!" That's the title.
So we're doing piracy. We stole an idea from Worst Idea of All Time, and
yeah,
in that
funny
good
New
podcast,
Zealanders.
they watch a bad movie every week for a year, and in this somehow even worse, or somehow not worse, somehow this bad podcast, we
do the
watching
same thing.
Donkey Kong Country, The Legend of the Crystal Coconut, every week. And it's only week 2, and I gotta say, I'm a broken man.
Say, how's your watch, bud?
Not great. I had a pretty busy day. I had a couple of work meetings, and I like immediately after my last work meeting, I had to
press
watch
play
this
on this film, on this masterpiece.
And then immediately after, like I just finished, and now we're recording this, and as soon as we're done with this, we will be starting a Pathfinder one-shot. So
yeah,
I got a busy night, but I got to just relax and just fall asleep in my chair watching this movie.
Did you fall asleep?
I did not, but I was very tired.
Yeah, that makes sense. I had a pretty good watch, all things, considered.
Yeah, there seems to be a pattern. A pattern of 2, but a pattern nonetheless.
It's not like high art, but it's like a comfort for me, this is like, there's way worse things you could watch. Like, there's way worse pieces of media out there. And, like, you always have something to look forward to. Like, the songs? You've always got the songs to look forward to, at least, right?
Well, until the last song. You can't
until I Gotta Eat, I think, is the title that I get. Okay, so we're not going to cover the plot too much. My notes are in chronological order, but we're not talking about the plot.
It'd be wild if your notes weren't in chronological order, because that means you wouldn't have watched the movie in chronological order.
I flipped the episodes around, so maybe that'll be one of the ways to spice it up later. We flip the order of the episodes. We make it so that Diddy Kong is no longer a time traveler or reincarnated. We make it so that
they just got a new
just the normal flashback.
Let's start with that. Why did they choose this order? They already have the narration between episodes to kind of.
They could have done any order. Yeah.
They could have just put that before if they wanted to have the same 4 episodes for whatever reason, and then just said yada yada yada. They bought a new ship, or they
bought a new ship or built a new one, sure, or whatever. Yeah.
There was no.
I don't know, man. I like the structure that it kind of lends itself to like a normal not normal, but I think it lends itself to a narrative well, aside from that plot hole, which we're assuming is a plot hole, but as we've already posited, it might not be. Like, it might just be real in universe.
Well, I think the reason they chose that episode for the end is because it has an actual end of the episode, right?
It has an ending.
We have the coconut and cut to black, right? There's no closing scene, really.
Well, kinda. I mean,
not in the way in terms of a movie. In terms of a show, yes, they have endings, but like that one, they're like on the dock, and it's sort of not.
It's a sunset, and it's a bit. It's cinematic.
Like of a movie.
Yeah, it's thematically appropriate ending.
Much more so than any of the other episodes.
Yeah. Okay, I had a note. This is kind of more general, I guess, talking about the first episode. What is the time that has come?
That is a very good question.
What time has come?
It doesn't play into anything.
No, it means nothing. What time has come?
Inka Dinka Doo says the time has come. Inka Dinka Doo says that's pretty clear.
Yeah, right. It is like he is saying right now.
Something Inka Dinka Doo is stating. But why has the time come? The time
for what? To do what? Well, what is happening?
Maybe it's time for the movie.
Oh, you know what?
Inka Dinka Doo has no reason to not break the fourth wall if Donkey Kong can do it later in the
That's
movie.
definitely not it, but I think for the purposes of this show, that should be it. He's just
Inka Dinka
announcing
Doo.
that the movie has started, yeah.
He started like, this is the start of the movie.
And you are in for an hour and 28 minutes of a whole lot of bullshit. Let me tell you what.
God, I hate that it's an hour and 28 minutes.
I know. Okay, so I do have to admit, in the middle, like, in the middle of the Amnesia episode, I was kind of like, how long's left?
Yeah.
I
You
was
hit the Amnesia part and you're like, oh god.
You're like, I'm only
Oh,
halfway
God.
through. Oh man.
Yeah.
I do have a note that's just Inka Dinka butt chin. Because he does
Yeah.
have a pretty prominent butt chin if we look at him here.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Look at him, dude. It's to borrow a return of phrase from Game Grumps, that chin is practically shitting.
I've never really
He's-
paused to take a look at.
Yeah, of course,
Inka
you
Dinka
never
Doo.
would pause this movie. You want to get through it as quickly as possible,
never.
of course, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. If we're just going over strange notes we have, I have the note. Well, my very first note from the very, very beginning of the movie is I hate looking at Diddy's face. Especially the lips and the mouth movements just make me very uncomfortable. And then the note I have after that is just in quotation marks banana cream pie.
Banana cream pie? You got any
that-
banana cream pie?
Yeah, it's
That's a
this.
real pie, right? I also-
certainly not.
I have a similar note from later, but they relate to that.
Mhm.
Where is it? My specific note was about the way their eyes move when they talk.
Yes.
It makes me really not. I don't
Yes.
like it a lot.
This is a bigger part about the whole movie. They're very dynamic, a lot of movement,
Yeah,
especially the
very
characters who aren't talking.
I also
Whenever they're just like listening, you can see their eyes like moving and shifting weirdly.
Hey, I also learned some trivia about this.
Uh-huh.
In like not purposefully, it just kind of came up organically in my recommendeds.
Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah, for sure. You weren't just watching
no,
it
no.
for leisure and it came up.
I wasn't. I didn't even listen to it fully. It was. Do you know Vine Sauce? Are you familiar with that?
I think so, yeah.
He was reacting to a compilation of every song from the series. That's a YouTube video and watched it, and he brought up the point that this was the first like 3D animated like I don't know about thing, but like show or whatever.
Really?
And this not entirely, but no,
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
do another condition,
That's-
which makes your point about there being so much motion more demented. It's mocap. It's all mocapped. Yeah.
This is not mocap.
It
There's
is though.
no way
It is
on
mocapped.
God's green and gracious
Look at-
earth that they did mocap.
You think
for
in
the Pirates of the
1996 they
Little
could get movement this smooth with animation? When did Toy Story come out?
Toy Story came out before then.
95
came out,
maybe?
like-
No, Toy Story came out in 95. I was right on the dot.
Nice.
Toy Story came out only a year before, and that was the first like 3D animated like movie, right?
Mhm.
And before that, Pixar only did shorts. And this isn't Pixar. This is just some nobody. So
Well, it
like,
also looks. I mean, it looks shitty compared to Toy Story.
well,
Like, it looks
okay,
bad.
you can't really like say this looks shitty compared to Toy Story. I mean, Toy Story.
Yes, I'm saying. But did they actually use? Like, do you know for
No,
a fact? they
let me
used mocap,
see.
Or
Let
is
me-
it just a theory?
I'm gonna pull this up.
Because I cannot imagine a real human being doing those like.
I can't
Stupid little
imagine
jumps.
animators making those stupid little jumps. Yeah, like, can you
I don't
imagine
know.
someone sitting
No.
down and being like, "I'm going to decide to make him move like that"?
Listen,
Okay.
They didn't even do the
The
work
show-
to shape Donkey
the
Kong's
sh-
ass.
no, no,
It's
I
literally
got
just two perfect spheres.
All right, I've got the Wikipedia pulled up. The show was first introduced in France on September 4th, 1996 on France 2, a hybrid live-action and motion capture animated block titled La Planète de Donkey Kong, the planet of Donkey Kong, and they begin full. First,
Oh
it
my
is
god,
the
that is such a
first.
better name.
It is the first television series that has been primarily animated with motion capture technology.
What a shitty
So that's
first.
Somebody's gotta be the first one, though. Like, they were trailblazers, man.
I guess some of that makes sense. I just feel
like
I hope they
because
were paid well.
yeah, I could not imagine animators being like, oh yeah, I want their faces to look like that. That's gotta be like
No, the
mocap.
animators had to do some touch. There has
yeah,
to be.
okay. The second okay.
The eye tracking. There wasn't eye tracking technology. They did the eyes themselves. For sure.
No, but like, look at the way their faces spasm out. I think there's some motion like facial capture on that too. Like,
at least I'm saying the pupils. I'm saying like where they're looking.
Oh, the
like
pupils for sure.
Eyebrows and stuff.
Yeah, but the brows and the shape of the eyes are like, it's psychotic.
Yeah. Wow. That.
I learned that.
I don't like that.
I don't know if I do either.
So much worse.
I don't. Well,
real people had to make these movements.
Yeah, somebody really got in a green suit.
I hope they were
to
paid
perform
enough.
Donkey. Yeah, I hope so too, man. Do you have any?
Going back to an earlier point.
Yeah, go ahead.
To know everything. Okay, Dinka Dinka Doo says, to know everything, you must give up everything.
It's very biblical.
No,
it's very biblical.
Buddhist.
No,
it's what. To know everything, you must give up everything is like quite like the.
Is that literally like a?
Yes.
That's true. To achieve enlightenment, yeah, you have to get rid of detachment. You have to be detached from earthly things and to achieve enlightenment.
He wants him to reach nirvana. He wants him to become enlightened. He is going to be the monkey Buddha.
And you know, this really plays into your theory of the reincarnation with Diddy Kong later.
Yes. Well, I have more things on this. Hold on, let me find the other notes.
You took notes on this throughout the whole episode.
Yes. So Funky Kong mentions specifically. Okay. First of all, I hate looking at Funky Kong. His accent is maybe racist. I'm not sure, but Funky Kong says he has cosmic jurisdiction
to assign mantras. Yeah.
So mantras in Hinduism is basically a phrase that you repeat over and over and over again as a form of prayer and worship.
I would like to point out, Buddhism and Hinduism are not the same thing, right?
Yes. Yes, they're not the same thing. They're different things.
Okay.
Buddhism spun off of Hinduism.
I see.
His name was Siddhartha. I don't remember his last name. It starts with a G. They have a lot of similar.
Is it Gupta?
Ideas. I don't know.
I don't think it was. It was like Chandragupta was like a India.
No, his name was Siddhartha. I remember because I had to read a shitty book about it in high school.
Okay,
and I had to learn the actual good story in college classes.
All right, well, go ahead.
But anyways, cosmic jurisdiction to assign mantras. That is like literally him saying like, I assign mantras. It's insane because that is like very, it's a form of Hindu practice.
I see.
And in the next sentence he says, he can clean their chakras, which is
cleansing the chakras.
Also a concept from Hindu worship, which makes me think that Funky Kong
is Hindu.
Practices Hinduism.
You know,
which is a bold statement.
That's a slam. That's a slam dunk.
It's right. He talks frequently about karma. He talks. He does. Although he does have a bit of a misunderstanding about karma. He has a pretty Western view of karma, which is to say,
like a surface.
It affects you within your lifetime. So like you do something good today, you get something good tomorrow, which is not the true meaning of it.
That's not what the true meaning it is, but in practice he is right in observing that happening around him. So like
because in the actual practice it's like affects your future lives or your future lives, whatever.
I mean
within your lifetime.
Does Diddy? But is he not observing it and seeing that Diddy, in his pranking of Donkey Kong, is then chained up in a barrel in his next life?
Oh yeah. Actually, that makes a lot. That life came
before though.
No, that'd be like backwards in time karma that affects your past lives, which brings. Hold on.
Kind of a marriage of our two theories, though, with the time travel.
Let me just think about the sentence I just said, which is karma that affects your previous lives. We are talking about the Donkey Kong Country movie.
Yeah. Really excellent. I've got to kind of get us away from this existential a little bit, just for now. I have some notes about that scene. Just one more note about that scene where he sings I don't remember what I named that song. But he says his tickets.
The very first one.
Yeah, he says his tickets to the Ding-a-Ling Brothers circus show.
I noticed that too. And it's never ever addressed. But
Never
I
just
want to go to
once.
that circus
Yeah,
show.
right. Like, who are the Ding-a-Ling Brothers? And
Is
the
it a
concept.
monkey circus?
Yeah, right. Like, what's the logistics there? Do they have other animals? Are the other animals sentient?
Do they parade non-sentient animals around? Like, does a monkey stick his head
Is it like
in a lion's
Is it
open
like
mouth?
a Mickey Pluto? Like a Goofy and Pluto situation?
Oh god, I don't want to think about that. We don't see. I mean, the only other creatures we see besides like the main there's like the two guards that don't speak.
Yeah,
and
right. They don't speak.
Bird
And
that sort of like.
which is like a regular parrot. Yeah, he's like
no, because it
parrot.
creates original thoughts. Like it gives back talk to fucking Scurvy.
True.
He's like, I'll be the scourge of the 6 seas, and the bird's like,
last time I looked, there were 7.
Which just absolutely dunks on this man, which is very good.
And I love that Scurvy doesn't take it as an insult though either. He's like, "Yar, even better."
Even better.
Yeah, he's very good natured about it, which is surprising for Scurvy considering his his words and deeds throughout the rest of the picture.
Yeah, that is true. I wanna
go
highlight
ahead.
a line from Diddy.
Yeah.
When they first meet the pirates, they're like the Kongs, which of course the family.
Yeah.
They're all like, "Oh, you guys are big dumb idiots and you're mean." And Diddy has the line that's just perfectly to fit, but he's like, "You're pure scum.
You're pure scum." Yeah. This is the first episode. The same word, because like literally in the pirates introduction, they're like. And they're like, because Cranky's like, pirates don't have honor. But the Cutlass and Green Croc say this thing, pirates don't have honor, and we be pure scum. And then Diddy later's like, you're pure scum. Like, it's the same word. Yeah, Diddy's is very funny. It's very funny. But I just think it's funny because like this whole episode, I think the same lines of dialogue are recycled like 4 times between both the introduction and the fucking Great Pirate Oath and the toothache.
Well, yeah, they even do a bit about the yada yada yada.
Yeah, what was the next part?
Great grandpappy.
Your tooth?
Yada yada yada. What am I missing?
Your tooth. Oh yeah.
All right.
Ow.
It's a very good scene. Very well written. I
noticed. I noticed that outside of Karul's hideout, so there's like the minecart tracks. When you're on an interior shot, you've got minecarts leading out, but on the exterior shot of the cave entrance, there are no minecart tracks. So this gives credence to your theory that they just spawn wherever he needs them to go.
I mean, yeah, they spawn in the Forbidden Forest.
Or that he places them down Minecraft style, I think.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a lot of iron to spare, so he picks them up when he needs them.
In that same scene with the Your Tooth, Hey Rule does a little run, and there's like sneaker sounds, like the sounds that you would hear like on a basketball court, where like a sneaker hits the ground really hard. I thought that was just lovely. This is some really good sound design.
There's I have some logistical questions. So we get the backstory. Well, first of all, Pirate Scorn, great song, fucking slaps. We get the
pharaohs exist.
Yeah, he was gonna put the mummy, steal the mummy from a pharaoh. Doesn't exist. Doesn't make. Not that doesn't. Excuse me. Steal the mummy from a pharaoh doesn't make sense.
Well, what if in this universe the ancient Egyptian pharaohs still rule over Egypt.
Oh, so the pharaoh is still the title
pharaoh
of the
still
leader
exists,
of Egypt,
and he is
which
in
is
possession of several
Egypt, which is an
pyramids.
established country.
Yeah. So Egypt exists.
Yeah,
Pharaohs
Egypt
rule it,
must
and they have
exist if
mummies
pharaohs
in their
exist, and they
pyramids.
have mummies in the pyramids. Yeah, excellent, very good. I have two questions. So in that song, he establishes how his great grandpappy, great Captain Scurvy, as I will refer to him henceforth, he hid the crystal coconut in the eye of Inca Dinka Doo.
Yes.
How? Because there is no like slot in the eye of the statue.
There's not. Well, and then he said that Inca Dinka Doo like cried the silver tear or something like that. Like,
yeah. So like, and it fell out of his eye at some point, and DK found it.
He like said it there precariously, and it fell pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then it was like years before DK just happened to find it.
Yeah, but I also have another to further expand on that. So, if Great Captain Scurvy hid the coconut on Congo Bongo Island in the eye of Inca Dinka Doo after he stole it from somewhere else,
why does it make someone the ruler of Congo
that's
Bongo
exactly
Island?
my question. Why does whoever possesses it determine the rulership of the island?
Anyone other than DK, because when
right,
DK has
because
it, he says,
I
am the future
He's not ruler
of Congo
yet.
Bongo Island.
So,
but when Karul owns it, he literally holds it in front of a factory, and it
like,
magically stops operating.
Well, it doesn't magically stop. No, that's not what happened. It doesn't magically stop operating. Like Candy is operating the factory, and then they turn around and
then
it
she
stops.
turns around to talk to fucking Bluster, and it keeps going.
No, because she's still pressing the buttons at that time. But when they stop pressing the buttons entirely is when it shuts down.
She turns around and they start talking, and they're not looking, and the barrels keep moving.
I believe you, but I want to get an independent fact checker on this. I never work. Yes, well, I see your point. Yeah, I know it's before this. It's after that though. Okay, it's like here-ish.
Because I believe, by the way, the scene works is that they're doing their
see,
work.
look, it stopped.
Yeah, but it stops. It doesn't stop right away. It stops like in a weird time.
No, it's like here. See, ready? We're gonna jump forward a little bit here. So they're making the barrels.
So she's pressing the buttons. Bluster comes up, and she stops pressing the buttons.
No, she's still pressing them. See, look, she's still doing her job. Like the whole time she's talking to him, she's still doing her job because she doesn't want to give him the time of day. Rightfully so, because Bluster Kong is.
Bluster is.
Like she still has an act. Okay, now she's turned around.
Her back.
She's not doing it anymore. Yeah, no, look, see, she hasn't deactivated it yet. And okay,
They just stop.
Hold on,
when DK busts through the door, they just stop. Instantly.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Also, speaking of this, I actually had my theory about the henchman sliding. If you wanna do that again, if you wanna show them
sliding. Well, I wouldn't even say it's a slide. It's like they're on a sphere and they're rotating down.
Yeah, see,
right?
that's
the angle changes a bit too.
That's my point. I think the crystal coconut warps space around itself. So like. Yeah,
because General fucking what's his butt?
Clump
moves a little bit too.
Yeah, right. So I think the coconut has its own like
it
gravity. Like what? Kind of, yeah, a little bit like a warp space, yeah, and definitely time too, because we determined that the coconut may be sending people through time potentially.
Yes, well, it's really rough too because the floor doesn't have any texture, so it's really hard to tell what direction they're actually moving in.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. We're a little ahead of us chronologically. But so, can we answer that? Why? So if this crystal coconut was before Great Captain Scurvy's arrival, nowhere present on Congo Bongo Island, what credence does it give to anyone to be the ruler of the island?
I don't know, because not only do we know, like we the audience know that it was put there by the Great Captain Scurvy, so does DK.
Scurvy. And Scurvy.
And Scurvy
Everyone.
and Cranky. So you have to assume that Karul knows.
Well, Karul might not. No. Karul might have assumed. Wait, Karul might assume, because the thing is, Scurvy doesn't seem to want to rule Congo Bongo Island. No, he just wants the coconut back. Well, he wants specifically the crystal coconut, because it's his birthright. Because it's his great grandpappy rightfully stole it from somebody else.
Yada yada yada.
Yeah. But like, so I think maybe it doesn't. No, but it has to, because Inkadinkadu. No, because Inkadinkadu. No, it has to. No, that's where I was going. But Inkadinkadu specifically says that DK will be the future ruler of Congo Bongo Island upon picking up.
We don't see him say that.
Wait, we don't see him say that, but we have verified sources of Cranky and DK.
Well, no, they just say he'll be the future ruler. They don't say.
No, Inkadinkadu says. DK says like. But why did Inkadinkadu pick me as future ruler?
Yeah, so I think
maybe
DK's future ruler regardless of
irrelevant of the coconut is where I was gonna say too. Yeah,
in the room of Inkadinkadu.
Yeah, and then Inkadinkadu was like, "Oh, hey, here he is. This guy's gonna be the future ruler."
I think Inkadinkadu and the coconut are not connected.
Yeah,
they are fully independent things.
Which is psychotic.
One is a found by a pirate hidden, and one is a totem god.
Which is psychotic, given the importance of both of them throughout this entire film.
Yeah.
Although, actually, if you think about it, Inkadinkadu kind of takes a backseat after the first episode. He's not really referenced at all after the first episode.
Yeah, well, we do get the very, very good line of
the what? Oh, wait, hold on. Why bother doing that? We can actually play it. We can play it right now. I can do the, where is it? I have the button. Did you hear that?
I did hear it. Yeah.
It was the audience heard it too.
It was there.
So
my mouse just
give me a second. I'm gonna call. Okay, I'm back. Luckily, the magic of editing made that just a moment for our listeners, but for us, it was real time. Mitch, you are present, right? Mitch?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think it is psychotic but correct to suggest that the coconut and Inkadinkadu are not related to each other whatsoever.
That is true, because the only time, I mean, to be fair, the only time they're in the same room together is when when Diddy takes it there after, it's returned to Cranky's house and he's trying to hide from the pirates.
We're getting too much into plot, but yes. I'd like to highlight, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I just really like Get It Back as the song where they're
sonically,
groovy,
a great time.
Very groovy. Visually is kind of nauseating, a little bit.
No, I had to look away.
Whenever it cuts the Donkey Kong swinging, it is very terrible to look at.
Even the other characters for me, I was getting a little.
I think the recording gets a little jittery there too. I don't think it's the movie itself. I think it is this recording.
Well, there's a couple of VHS moments later in the movie where you can see the whole screen shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
There is a
ahead.
Great line from DK. Gotta give it the old banana try.
I did wrote that too, actually. I was gonna shout out give it the old banana try. I was gonna highlight that one for the comedy because it's just funny. And then there was a later line where he's like, "I guess there's more to learning how to be a king. You've got to see beyond the mystery." But he like stretched out mystery to make it fit the tempo. That's actually just kind of like a good a good lyric. Yeah, like that's just good. Yeah. Like that's good. I'd also like to I did highlight a timestamp in that scene that you talked about, K-Rool squeaking. 16:15. If we want to go to that real quick. Yeah, 16:15. K-Rool's arms as he goes in on his fucking computer slays me. Please pay special attention as he goes up.
Are you in a different spot? Mine's where they're charging this.
No, 16, 15 should be right here, right? So we're both on this spot, right? K. Rool is pointing at DK and Scurvy. Timestamp. You want 16:15?
I think I'm in that scene.
Yeah, just the end of the. Okay, are we?
I don't think we're synced up right now. I'm at 15. Okay, there we go.
Okay, 15:05. And then here's to like 16:08.
While we're on the topic,
please look at his arms though.
What frame are you frozen on? Because right now it's DK and Cranky on my screen.
Now I just took it back, and now it's Scurvy on the screen. Can you see Scurvy?
No, it's not synced.
Interesting. It should be like strange. Okay, yeah. You just control it.
Let me
go to like
16:12.
16:12 is where you want to go to.
Yeah. Okay. So his arms when he's doing what?
As the elevator is ascending. It'll be it's K. Rool's arms as he's as he's
running. Oh my god.
He's going fucking ham on the computer. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just where he's running in place and just like slamming.
Slamming the computer. It's very funny.
While we're talking about King K. Rool, his little cape is so funny.
Yeah, everything about K. Rool is hilarious, dude.
It is a perfect rectangle that covers like the top 2/3 of his shoulder blades, and it's just like. It's just that little touch. It's just that little, just a sprinkle, just a little hint of flavor, and it's hilarious. It's so
just
good.
A little bit of regal flair to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, K. Rool is awesome. And like I said, I will highlight his vocal performance. He's just so funny. Yes. He's nailing every line that he delivers.
Yeah. So, in the original game, wasn't King K. Rool a pirate? Didn't you like fight him on a pirate ship?
No, you fight him on a pirate ship, but he's not a pirate. He is like a king. He dresses in a pirate outfit, but he also dresses in other outfits sometimes. Like in Donkey Kong 64, you're fine. I love Donkey Kong 64 for this. In Donkey Kong 64, the final fight is a boxing match, and he's wearing this awesome. Oh, let me see. If I can pull it up for you.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't play many of the games. The first Donkey Kong game I played was the Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii.
Yeah, let me throw this in the. Oh, Donkey Kong Country Returns is a great game, by the way. I'm gonna throw this in. I'm gonna see if I can grab this.
In general of the Discord server we're in?
No. I'm just gonna put it in the it just clearly in the I wanna just alright, copy image and then paste it. There you go, please. Look at me.
That is so good.
Awesome. Hands are massive. Yeah, those boxing gloves are enormous, yeah.
That is really good.
It's quite funny. He is prone. He's got a flair for the dramatic, much like he does here in the movie. Yeah, no, he is a king. He's normally seen in this King K. Rool with the crown and the cape. His cape is usually a little longer, but not much actually. This is pretty accurate.
I like to think in my head canon he got that cape when he was a young boy.
when he dreamed of
wearing
villainy.
Like some delusional madman.
Yeah.
Let's see, Pongak.
Pongak. Yeah. Did we ever
still
figure out
still meaningless
what it means?
I've searched on the internet, could not find anything for what a Pongak is.
Right. I wanted to point out in Bog Monster Hijinks, which is what I've named the second episode. There's something very funny in Booty Booty, the pirate song. I literally had the question of, the pirates have pension plans?
What line triggered that?
There's a line where it says, and all the job security of a great pension plan are then come aboard. He says it verbatim that they have pension plans.
good.
It's very funny.
In that episode, how old is Donkey Kong? Because he is playing secret agents.
I think
with
he's.
Diddy.
I think he's meant to. So I don't know if in this show,
Supposed to be like
Diddy.
younger.
Yeah, he's a bit young. I would say he's probably like an older teen, maybe. Maybe he's like 15 or 16. But he has a house.
Diddy like his son?
No, Diddy is his nephew, but it doesn't
what
look
is
like...
up with like cartoons and shows and being like nephew? And do you have a brother or sister? No, we don't know.
Yeah, Diddy is not. I don't know if he's specifically said to be.
If he's a nephew, that means that Donkey Kong has a sibling, and likely a sibling with a partner who has children.
Is Funky his
That's another good question. Who is Funky?
Let's see. Funky Kong.
Let's get into this. The family dynamic of why do they all have the same last name?
I've actually got maybe it's like a species name.
I guess, but why?
Okay.
On the topic of names, no one calls him Donkey. You call him Diddy and Cranky and Candy and Funky and Bluster, but no one calls him Donkey.
No, they do call him Donkey a couple times.
No, they don't.
They do.
No, they do not. They call him
the
DK.
Donkey dude thinks he's a pirate dude. And then also later at the beginning of the Amnesia, it's like, oh, now you're messing with me, aren't you, Donkey Kong? Donkey Kong. They acknowledge his name several times in this film.
I know they're acknowledging his name is Donkey Kong, but it's I guess for the one exception, they call him Donkey Dude. No one just calls him Donkey. Like
no one calls him Donkey Dude. Like a first name. Yeah, true. That is true. Okay. I don't know if I should reveal this on episode 2, but I am looking at the Wikipedia page, and I've got some crazy, like, this is a revelation.
I gotta know it then.
So, Captain Scurvy, it's got, you know, a little blurb for every character in the show. Captain Scurvy, a pirate captain. And hold on, let me just, a pirate captain and Clump's long lost twin brother?
And whose?
Clump!
Clump?
Yeah, General Clump. That's why they look the same.
That's why they have the exact same body. That's why flavor.
Yeah, that's why that's wild to me that he's his long lost twin brother. What?
That must be in the show where they.
It's got to be in the rest of the show. Yeah, it's got to be elsewhere in the show.
I mean, but that's an easy explanation as to why they used the same character model.
Yeah, it does also say for Inka Dinkadoo, to kind of poke holes in our theory. But again, this is broader. This is broader context.
Get off Wikipedia. Get off Wikipedia. We're basing this off of what we can view from the movie,
correct.
not from the shows.
It does. Well, I'm gonna posit that the Wikipedia is wrong. It says the temple god from whence the crystal coconut came.
That's factually incorrect.
We know.
I guess technically, it was in the temple, but Inka Dinkadoo didn't bring it to the temple.
Right? Yeah. Like it's not related, as we've said.
Also, how disappointing must it be to be a pirate and you got this cool treasure and you're able to fit it into an eye of a totem pole statue in a massive island in a temple and nothing cool happens?
Yeah, that is kind of the depressing that he did. He put it in the secret puzzle solving spot and no puzzle was solved.
Yeah.
During the Bog Monster episode, why doesn't Cranky just like watch TV or something? Instead of watching them after he's pranked them, why doesn't he just like watch a TV show or whatever?
I mean, they don't have a TV. I mean, maybe he could scry on TV.
Yeah.
But they don't have a TV in the Cranky house.
Also, every time they refer to the act of tricking someone for the purpose of entertainment.
A practical
They
joke.
refer to it as a practical joke every time. This is less of a... Well, my question for the movie is, couldn't you use the word prank ever, too? Like, that feels like...
That's really what it is.
Yeah, because it's a prank.
I don't know the difference, but it definitely seems more like a prank.
No,
also,
and this is my question for a general... This was the note that I had.
Yes.
Why is it called a practical joke?
I had the exact same question about the universe and our state in it.
Yeah, about like our language.
What about a joke?
What are verbal jokes impractical? Like what?
Well, because like joke is like set up punchline, right? The most basic form is a setup and a punchline.
So what's a practical joke? Is it that a physical thing happens?
I think that's what I think practical is sort of meaning like physical or material in the sense of like the punchline is you have to go and do something or act
to do a thing, sure, as
opposed to just say something or read something.
I also put a note here, 2 notes about Bog Monster episode. Does Diddy have a spotlight back there when he makes the shadow on the tree?
That is a very good point
because it's just a very intense shadow
is just like
normal.
From the sun.
Yeah. And then also I noticed it for some reason. Why does Diddy have Sonic eyes?
Oh God, he does.
Because he does.
He's not the only one though.
No, he's not the only one. Karul
has sort of Sonic
Karul
eyes.
has 2 separate eyes though. He does. Look at
one of the lizard fuckers has.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Captain Scurvy has Sonic eyes.
Does he? No, I thought Captain Scurvy has 2 separate eyes. Wait, he's about to come in.
That's Sonic eyes. That is big ass Sonic eyes.
I can't. We're desynced, so I can't actually tell.
No,
you're right. Captain Scurvy does have Yeah, he does have Sonic eyes as well. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
He squints sometimes, and it looks separate, but it is totally Sonic eyes.
Can you go to 4336?
4336. This is where they're exchanging the hand cannon and the crystal and all that.
Yeah, right? And I just want I don't know why it didn't like sync to me properly.
Pausing and playing does, but I don't know why.
All right. And I want to specifically just there's a line. It's when DK's running in, and he's like, "He'll get you." Kills me. Just his delivery.
Wait, what does he say?
He's like, run for your lives, he'll get you. And like the way he says he'll get you just slays me, please.
Yeah. Speaking of the Forbidden Forest,
it
must be tiny. It must be the smallest little forest ever, because they are very easily able to find each other.
Yeah.
Obviously within seeds, but like there's no seed of them. Like, they search around, but once they find each other the first time, they're just like, yep, there we are.
I'd say a forest in the scope of an island that has a lot of jungle. Probably the forest is pretty small.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's weird.
Moving on to, unless you have more, do you have any more notes in Bog Monster episode? Because you had a lot of notes this time. Okay, cool. Moving on to
I do have 3 pages of notes, but
yeah,
no, I don't. I have one more note. Is real ass ghosts show up?
I thought about making a note about that too.
Like, I know they're just for like the effect of the song, sort of a musical sense. No one addresses it, but like real ass ghosts show up and they have faces and they fly around the trees, and it's
the thing is that you say it just for the purpose of the song, but if you'll remember, Funky Kong calls upon the universe and makes a drum beat happen. So I think all of the songs are diegetic.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
I think so. I think
ask the universe for drums.
A little drum music, if you please. I think
I wish I could do that. Yeah. I wish I could just pronounce to the world, not like an Alexa or a Google.
Yeah, but like just
pronounce to the universe that I could use some funky beats, and the universe provides.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that means that those ghosts were real, and they were actually there. So this does confirm that ghosts are real. The Donkey Kong. Well, like, I don't know if this game covers Wrinkly Kong, who was Cranky's wife? Question mark. She's dead.
What's her name?
Wrinkly Kong.
That's mean.
It is very mean.
That's just mean.
It is
like,
quite mean.
Straight up and down. That is just mean.
Quite mean, and she's dead, so it's like even worse.
There's not like their stupid friend Ugly Kong. Like, why is it Wrinkly Kong?
Was her name always Wrinkly Kong?
Yeah, was she born Wrinkly Kong?
Oh, that's a bad birth. We gotta get out of Bog Monster territory.
Cranky, right? His name is literally Cranky. Like, he's like.
Well, that's the thing. Cranky is actually.
Cranky.
Yeah, but the important thing to know is that in the Donkey Kong canon, I might have to sneeze here in a second. I'll try to.
The dude's freed up his scream or his sneezes.
Oh, excuse me. In the Donkey Kong canon, Cranky Kong is Donkey Kong from the arcade game Donkey Kong.
Oh, and then
DK is his grandson.
DK Jr.
And Donkey Kong the third, I think, technically, probably, because it's his grandson.
Junior. And who the fuck was Junior?
Junior was Donkey Kong Jr., dude. That's a thing.
Yeah, I know about the actual game Donkey Kong Jr., but that he just did that and then like dipped.
Yeah, he must have.
And Mario was just like alive this whole ass time.
Yeah, Mario's
like
immortal
plumber.
Yeah, he's forever like a 40-year-old. Let's get into mistaking Kong identity, I guess. Which is what I'm naming.
That's what you titled it? That's what you're calling it?
Yeah.
It's a creative. I like it.
I don't have anything from really the beginning through most of the first part. I am just highlighting The Mirror Never Lies, which is just an excellent song.
It is a very good song. It is afterwards. It is the very bad scene of DK eating all those bananas, and the sounds haunt me to this minute. I can't get them out of my head. They're driving me up the wall. They're so bad. And he even like comments on it, like, "Oh yeah," and it sucks. Sucks bad.
Yeah. I haven't known.
Wait, before the
go ahead.
Karul can hear using his fake eyeglass. So in the movie, as we've discussed, they have a great bit where they're far away and you move the camera back and you see Karul's hand around the edges of the screen and he's looking at it and then he immediately jumps to the conclusion of the exact truth of what happens because plot convenience.
Yeah,
I guess.
He must have heard.
But they were out on the water, so it's also one of those like
acoustics. Yeah, they travel.
Things. Yeah.
Well, acoustics do travel really well, and like if you know anything about, I'm gonna out myself as having some niche biblical knowledge. That's why, like, when Jesus was teaching people on the lakeside, he took the boat out into the like bay a little bit. So that his voice would be magnified by the acoustics of the water.
I don't think that's how acoustics.
No, it is though. Actually,
I mean, I don't know enough to prove you wrong, but I feel like getting farther away wouldn't make you louder. I mean, if you can already project, it might allow you to reach a wider area, but not louder.
Well, it's a wider. Well, that was the point. It wasn't meant to be louder. It's meant to reach farther because there were a lot of people. So.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, I do have a note. When Scurvy's telling Donkey Croc, as we're gonna refer to him please refer to his personas properly.
Okay.
As he's speaking to Donkey Croc, he says the gem holds the power of the 7 seas. What is that? Got me curious of what is the nature of the Crystal Coconut's power. Is it the power of the 7 seas? Like, is it like some kind of aquatic god? Is Inkadinkadu some kind of aquatic god? Or is it the power come from something like Poseidon?
That's a good question. We've talked about the powers of the coconut. So it can, in order of appearance, it can soothe pain. It can make pain go away. Not heal, it can make pain go away. It can allow for astral projection,
Once
It
your
allows-
body is stored in the coconut realm, yes.
Yes, your body is transferred to the coconut realm, and your spirit can walk among the earth, and then return you to the coconut. It can scry. We don't know about the time dilation on the scrying. But we know
Right.
it can view faraway places as they are in the moment, and
We have theorized that it might have some kind of time control power.
well, yes, it might have some time control power.
We know it
and
does a
Karul
space
thinks,
distortion.
Yes, and Karul thinks that having it makes you ruler of Congo Bongo Island,
Which is maybe true, but we don't know.
which is maybe true, but also the one time he uses that power, he also has soldiers with guns that dissolve you,
Yeah.
and so I think he can kind of do whatever he wants to do. He didn't need the coconut to do that.
That's
like
true.
anyone could have just gone in there with a gun that disintegrates people.
I also have a note. This is more of a joke than anything. It's 102:25 is the timestamp I'm posting. If you could go ahead and go to that. The note is just goddamn.
Oh, is it Donkey Kong?
It's Donkey Kong's thick ass as he yeah, go ahead and
Is it?
it's 102:25.
This is even worse.
This is
Yeah.
even worse.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the thing is that I think, as we've established, they were fairly. I don't want to say lazy because that seems rude, but like there's a lot of corners that were cut. They took some shortcuts. And his ass and also his chest are just perfect spheres. They did not model them after that. They stuck a sphere in there and put things around it, but they did not change the
I think
original
maybe
shape.
they did though. Maybe they did model it after that. They wanted him to be the perfect specimen of an ape.
I just the moment I have it paused at is looking at his chest, and it's just like two perfect spheres. Like
It's a very Dorito shape, yeah.
It's not good. I don't like looking at it.
I don't have a whole lot of notes for Mistaken Congeniality or Coconut Shuffle. I assume you do though, so I'd like to hear.
Actually, I don't have that many. I took most of my notes in the early game.
Yeah, me too, man.
I sort of waved off because I was getting tired and sick of watching this movie.
my notes waved off too, because
yeah, I have the note of Funky Kong asking the universe for drums. And then when Donkey Kong jumps in the pit for whatever reason, chasing after the book, I'm assuming it's from a different episode.
It's a different episode that they don't show.
In the movie cut, we have no idea why he survived that fall.
No context.
He was risen up on a platform. Like, it is just fully unexplained.
Yeah, there's no context for that scene whatsoever. There's also, I noticed in that scene, Clump and Crusha are flapping their arms and going in a circle and making chicken noises. Just in the background, not addressed at all. like Clump is just like bark, 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 and it's like, what is? I want to know what's going. Why didn't they put that episode in the movie? I want to know what's going on in that episode, man.
Yeah. One of the last bits I have here is from the last movie when Bluster walks out. It's so good. It is genuinely funny.
Yeah.
It is not acknowledged by anyone. No one looks at him for a second. No one, even like Karul, who could very obviously see him walking off, says nothing, and it's perfect. It's very well executed.
I would say a lot of the comedy, like a lot of it is just very much like characters yelling. But there are some very competently written jokes in this movie. There's some
Shiver Molars got a little bit of a smile out of me. I wouldn't say a laugh, not a chuckle, not a exhale out the nose.
Just a smile, like you acknowledge it though.
Upwards a little bit, yeah.
I will always get a kick out of eye nose throat.
That is another good one.
It's a good line.
And then following up to the end, I said claptrap voice scares me, and then the note after that is I am a broken man. I just wrote that down.
You just wrote that.
I remembered that.
And this is watch 2, man. You can't be broken yet.
Oh, I was broken well before this.
Okay. It's not related to Donkey Kong Country: The Legend of the Crystal Golden.
It may be triggered by it. It may not be the reason, but it is a
contributing factor. You think?
I had a broken
helping
rib
the
in this movie poked.
Kicked you,
You know?
you had a broken rib, and oh, I thought you were gonna go stronger than that. I thought you were gonna say it like
No,
kicked you in the ribs. Just like
no,
a gentle
that would
poke.
re-break it. What were you saying?
Just like is it just like a gentle poke then?
It's like a jab, sort of like a, you know, it was enough to remind myself of the pain of life. You know?
I see. Just to make sure you're still alive, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You only know you're happy when you see how sad you've become. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
you have to reach rock bottom to.
Fault. No, just seek happiness. Don't listen to us.
I mean, I
and
had
the
a
last
pretty
note
good
I have
watch.
is the eating sounds suck again. When,
You just wrote it again separately.
Yeah. Well, it was when
DK's in the pile. He dives into it to get.
Well,
help.
yes. So then
Yeah.
when DK jumps in the pile, also very bad. And then again at the very end when Karul and Scurvy
Are eating as
slip
well.
off the cliff and
Sure.
somehow convince themselves they're monkeys because they're surrounded by bananas?
They
Question
hit
mark.
their head, dude. They lost. They
Yeah,
get the amnesia
there was
too.
no one. But Donkey Kong was convinced because someone's like, "Oh, come here, you're a pirate." They just saw bananas and each other and were like, "Guess we're monkeys."
Well, I mean, if you see
I understand what a monkey is.
if you see a quote lizard with nipples, I mean, your brain kind of just shuts off, I think, and you don't know how to process anything
Yeah.
else.
Guess I'm an abomination.
Yeah, I think that's all it was. Yeah.
Guess my existence is spitting in the face of
Do you
God.
think? Well, as we established last episode, King Kong exists as like a not as like a movie or a concept, like as a celebrity, because
Yeah.
DK's an autographed picture of him. Do you think the other Godzilla monster? Do you think Godzilla exists here too? Well, I mean, the lizards exist, so surely they must have some godlike giant lizard to look up to. So it's got to be Godzilla,
Yeah.
right?
That makes sense to me. Surprise! I mean that sort of in the flow of what this movie is, a line of Karul saying the Great Godzilla, in reference to someone else who has awesome power.
Yes.
Like he's like, I want to become like the Great Godzilla.
I
That would
will-
not be out of place.
Once I have the crystal coconut, I will be as powerful as the Great Godzilla.
Yeah,
Like something along those lines. Yeah, sure.
That would not be a second out of place.
Yeah, I would not be I would not be surprised to hear that either. Do you think the other Godzilla monsters exist too then?
I don't know. We don't see any of the other animals. The only animals we see are monkeys and crocs and one parrot.
And one parrot, true. Well, and Claptrap, whatever the hell he is. He's like some other kind of lizard, right? Or do you think he's just like a deformed,
a little
like
fucked up crocodile?
Just a little fucked up guy.
To be fair, he is the most crocodile-like, I would say. In terms of body shape.
Yeah, I would say so. Sadly, yeah, I agree.
Because the other ones have like belly buttons and nipples and no tail. And does Claptrap have a tail?
I think he does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's got one.
Yes, he does. Okay, he has a tail. I guess his body is not even remotely.
His face is crocodilian for sure, but like
yes, much more so than any of the
other.
I don't
know. Well, the rest of them look like crocs. Like, look at fucking K. Rool's face. He's literally like look at Clump. He like looks like a croc.
Yeah, but they also have nipples. So like,
what does that have to do with their face? We were talking specifically about their face.
I don't know, man.
Okay. Well, I think it's gonna be about it for us for this episode. We'll come up with a name, I'm sure, between now and next recording, and I will have them upload. I haven't uploaded either. Well, obviously I haven't uploaded this one yet, or maybe I will have by the time.
I mean, if someone's listening to it, then yes.
Yeah, I guess. Shut up.
Yeah. This is one of us listening to it. Yeah, later.
True. I guess I will. Yeah, we'll think of a title between now and next recording for sure. But these will definitely be uploaded.
Noah.
What's up?
Again, we didn't introduce ourselves. I think we'll continue this tradition.
Oh, yeah. This is at the end of the episode. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hi, Mitch. What's up?
I'm Mitch. I have an idea for an even worse podcast.
Hey. Okay. Go on.
Once we do 52 episodes.
Once we get through the whole year of this movie, sure.
We start again, and each week we review the equivalent of the previous episode. So, episode 1 of the new podcast, we review episode 1 of this. Episode 2, we review what we all just said.
Wait, so we're reviewing our own podcast?
Yes.
Or we're gonna wait. So does this involve we have to watch the movie again too to be in context?
No. This time we've already watched the movie for a year, so we know this movie.
That's true.
We just rediscuss the things that we talked about in the podcast.
So we're just gonna watch the podcast and then wow, those fucking idiots with their Hinduism theory. We actually cracked what it really is. Yeah. I'm excited to talk about that for 50 more weeks to really get into the spiritual psychology of Donkey Kong Country: The Legend of the Crystal Coconut, I think.
Yeah. It's a pattern, man.
You know what? The more evidence you're posting up, the more I'm leaning your way. Alright,
and as we always say at the end of every episode, Banana Slamma.
Banana Slamma.